I'm wondering if you've ever wondered, like I have so many times, why some contractors struggle to make a living while another contractor does the exact same type of work and builds a business that generates hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars in a year. It isn't because necessarily that they're better at their trade or because they're smarter. It isn't usually because they're working harder. On the contrary, I would say. The difference is that one is running a business while the other simply owns a job. I am John, the contractor growth guy, and for 30 years I've been involved in the trades, in sales, in marketing, in the contracting industry. And today I coach contractors on how to grow more profitable businesses. In this video, what I want to talk about are the seven, what I would call the seven biggest mistakes that I see contractors making over and over again. If you're making even one of these mistakes, fixing it could have a significant impact on your business. All right, let's jump right in. Mistake number one, and this cannot be overstated as to its importance. You don't know your numbers. Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you know right now how much it costs your business to operate per billable hour? Okay, not what you charge, not what your competitors charge. What does it actually cost your business to exist for one productive hour? Most contractors have absolutely no idea. They know what everyone else is charging, or at least they have a pretty good idea of it. So they simply price somewhere around that number and they hope there's money left over at the end. That is not, as I always say, hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a pricing strategy. That's for absolute sure. If you don't know your overhead recovery costs, you're guessing every time you prepare a quote for a customer. You can be busy every single day of the week and you'll still lose money. That's one of the biggest mistakes contractors make. Now, mistake number two, and you've been told this, that's why it's a mistake. You think you need more leads. This one surprises a lot of contractors. I just need more leads. Well, maybe you do. I mean, that's a possibility, but it's not always a given as you might expect. What if instead of doubling your leads, you simply improved your sales closing rate? If you're closing 3 out of every 10 estimates, okay, what would happen if you started closing 5 or 6? You dramatically increase your revenue without spending another dollar on advertising. So before you spend more money trying to generate leads, ask yourself whether you're maximizing the opportunities that you already have. Excuse me. Sometimes the biggest problem isn't marketing, it's actually sales. Mistake number 3, you compete on price. I can't say this strongly enough. The fastest way to destroy your profits is to become the cheapest contractor in town. You want to cut your own throat? That's how to do it. You cannot win in a race to the bottom. Instead, you have to compete on value. Answer your phone. Show up when you say you will. Communicate professionally, educate your customer, keep your job site clean, follow up, be dependable. Most homeowners are not looking for the cheapest contractor. In fact, almost none are. They're looking for the contractor that they trust the most. Trust wins far more jobs than low prices ever will. Mistake number 4 is you're trying to do everything yourself. Does this sound familiar? You answer the phones, you sell the jobs, you order the materials, you build the projects, you send the invoices, you collect the payments, you solve all the problems afterwards, and the business cannot function without you. You go away and everything dies. That's not freedom. That's a prison. And at some point, you have to stop building a business that depends on one person, which is you. Okay, great businesses are built on people, processes, and systems, not on one exhausted owner trying to do absolutely everything. Mistake number 5 is this: you don't follow up. I get argued with this about this all the time from contractors. I give them the quote. If they don't want it, too bad, and I'll move on to the next one. It's such an easy mistake to fix, but you've got to recognize it as a mistake. Most contractors think if the customer wants a job, they're going to call. That's not how people work, okay? I've proven this over and over again. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face, but you haven't tried it, so you do not know. Life gets busy, people get distracted, They want to talk to their spouse. They have questions they forgot to ask. Other stuff comes up. A simple follow up phone call or a message a few days later can open up the door of communication and ultimately win the job. Follow up doesn't have to be pushy. It's very professional to follow up. Some of the easiest sales that you're ever going to make are from people who've already told you that they're interested. Follow up with them. Mistake number 6, you have no systems. Every estimate is different. Every employee does things differently. Every project is organized differently. Every customer has a different experience. You don't have a business. You have a somewhat organized chaos. Successful businesses rely on systems, on standard operating procedures, a sales system, a quoting system, a production system, a customer communication system, an employee onboarding system, a follow-up system. Systems create consistency and they create efficiency, and efficiency is what creates profit. The last mistake number 7, you're thinking like a tradesman instead of like a business owner. And this is probably the biggest mistake of all. And this is probably why I do what I do. The skills that made you a great carpenter or an electrician or a plumber, painter, landscaper, those are not the skills that make you a successful business owner. Those technical skills got you into the business, but leadership, sales, marketing, financial management, hiring, delegation, those are the skills that grow a business. And there comes a point where your most important job is not swinging a hammer anymore or being on the tools. Your most important job is building the company. Now, here's the good news. Every one of these 7 mistakes can be fixed. Nobody starts out knowing how to run a successful business. We learn, we improve, we build better systems, we become better salespeople, we understand our numbers, and over time, we stop working harder and we start working smarter. If one of these mistakes has hit home for you, which I'm sure at least one of them has, let me know in the comments, please. I'd love to hear which one you're struggling with the most. And if you're serious about growing your business, I invite you to check out Contractor Authority. We have practical training designed specifically for contractors in sales, marketing, systems, profitability, recurring revenue, leadership, and a whole lot more. So thanks for watching. Again, I'm John, the Contractor Growth Guy. And remember this, great contractors build great projects. Great business owners build great businesses.